I was recently accused of being all sunshine and rainbows. I talked about this in a longer video that you can click down below, but now I'm going to do it in a short. This was not surprising to me. In fact, I'm a little surprised I don't get this comment more, because life is a lot more fun as an optimist, and because this is how I deal with fear. I just usually leave the fear part out, because I really don't think you need more of it. You need to be reminded that everything is terrible, that some people want it worse. If so, my content might not be for you, because there are already thousands of other creators and outlets providing that terrible service. But I also realize just telling someone to be hopeful is not helpful. That's toxic positivity. And I think that might actually be worse than existential dread. So instead, I'm going to tell you how I go about finding hope so that hopefully you can do it yourself. But please don't stop watching my videos because I love you. Now, I learned this in therapy. When you're dealing with fear or anxiety and your brain keeps asking you to walk to that edge where you get really afraid of the irrational thing, but you never really address it, this process allows you to actually resolve some of that. Let's do it in real time with one of the scariest comments and questions I receive anytime I talk about changing the future for the positive with elections. Something along the lines of, yes, but will we even have midterm elections? That's not actually the right question, because whether or not we have elections is up to all of us. So you can start by asking yourself, if you wake up one day and you see a headline where Donald Trump says that we're going to cancel or suspend an election or declare martial law, two things that, by the way, have never been done before, that can't be done per the Constitution, and two things that weren't even attempted through the Civil War or either World War, meaning these are deeply irrational fears. If you wake up one day and he has tried to do something like this, what are you going to do next? Are you going to go to work, go to the grocery store, comment on a doom video, see, I was right, and then go on with your day? Or would you be one of the tens of millions of Americans who in that event would recognize this is illegal, this is not the United States I believe in, and as a result, instead of going to school or work, you would rise up and protest? Because so far, everything Donald Trump has tried to do has at least been partially rooted in law. But these doomsday scenarios, these are light switch moments. It would force all of us, not just you and me, but every member of the military, every elected official, including every governor and mayor, every chief of police, to pick a side. And while I think this will forever be a hypothetical exercise, I can tell you if that day ever did come, if we look around and we see tens of millions of people rising up, it'll be a lot easier for the people in power to make the right choice too. Because remember, the Constitution, all of our laws, they're just words. That's all they ever were. The only thing that makes us different is that more people stand up to defend them than otherwise. This is exactly what happened in South Korea when less than a year ago, their president tried to declare martial law. And when he did, the South Korean people lost their minds. They shut down the government, they shut down the economy, and within 6 hours, the whole thing was over. Justice was served and their president was thrown out. And this country is a lot bigger than South Korea. So to answer the question, will we have midterm elections? Will we elect a new president in 2028? Of course we will, because any alternative is unacceptable.